Hello everyone, welcome back. This week we're going to be talking about being lost. Being lost at some point and then becoming found. And I know that every single person is going to be dealing with being lost at some point in their life. In fact, maybe it is a reoccurring cycle where you are continually kind of losing track of who you are, what your goal was, short cycles or long cycles, or mixture of both, that kind of thing. Now, when I think about being lost, that is something that, like being physically lost, was something as a kid I was a little scared about. In fact, when I was maybe 7-ish years old, and we were at some sort of church function, and I remember I was leading everyone and they were following me, and then I just kept walking and walking, and I turn around, and this is so many people's experience. They turn around and nobody is following them. No one is behind them. Mom and dad were there with brother, and they are no longer there. And I remember that being so, I guess it was traumatizing for me, because that one instance influenced my entire life afterwards. And I can say this in a physical, like literal instance, where I was like, I never want to be up in front anymore. I want to be following people. I want to be able to see you in my sights, and then I will follow you. And that was something that as a kid I would continue to do up until I became an adult. And then, but if I think about that, even in a more metaphorical sense and a deeper sense, that is still exactly what I was doing throughout my life. I always needed somebody ahead of me to kind of guide me. And maybe I wasn't necessarily following them, but I was at least radar, being able to ping off of and say, okay, I see you there, do you see me? So 2.5 years ago, when I got my type back, and I got back that I was Savior TE, because I thought I was Savior DI. I said TI because I thought, oh, well, I know I'm thinking over feeling, and I feel this thinking thing a lot, and I'm masculine DI, and masculine DI was right, but it wasn't a savior, it was a demon. But I was Savior feminine TE. But when I heard that information and I realized what that meant for my life, I then started putting pieces together where I had kind of definitely lost a sense of who I was. I became a teacher, and I really had to reevaluate, why did I become a teacher? And I really didn't become a teacher for good reasons. Like it was reasons enough, and those reasons came from the tribe, and that is why I became a teacher. But if I think about like when you ask people what their reason for becoming a teacher is, like they'll give this really great answer. And so I was like, oh man, I don't really have an answer. I think I'm gonna have to kind of take some of these really great things that people are saying and put them together. And that's why I became a teacher, because I was so embarrassed to tell people that I became a teacher because somebody told me I would be a good teacher. That was it. That was my reason why I became a teacher. And so I am now willing to say those things now. So somebody just asked me recently, and I told them that was why I became a teacher. And I can now say as well, I can add to the story that I didn't really understand myself back then. And I now know why I am a teacher, but I didn't necessarily go into teaching for those reasons. I continue to work with children and in education because I feel called to work with students to help them see their potential, to understand themselves a lot better, whether it's in math or with anything else. I mean, I was a math teacher, but I could care less if they didn't understand the quadratic formula. What made more sense to me, well, it doesn't matter, I'm kind of getting off course here, but I guess to finish that, what matters more to me is that they have the tools, so there's the TE, that they have the tools to understand and figure things out on their own. That is what I feel called to do, because that is what I do, and I want to help others do the same thing. I want others to figure out, this is the set of information, this is what I have, this is what I need to, this is the goal I'm looking towards, and then what do I do to get there? And so anyway, in that instance, when I started learning more about my type and what that meant to me, I started realizing how lost I really was. I mean, heck, that decision right then of becoming a teacher was based on the tribe. The tribe told me to do it, and I said, okay, fine, sure. But I'm noticing that these cycles, I'm starting to get into them a little bit sooner, which is good because it's telling me that I'm doing the right things, that I'm noticing, the awareness level has risen. And so that is exactly what I want to happen. And so my most recent moment of being lost, and now I'm trying to find myself again, is and it's kind of a more superficial area. So it's not necessarily, well, no, I'm going to own it. I'm going to say it because this is a part of who I am and how I express myself. And that is in my fashion, what I am wearing, what I'm choosing to put on and leave the house in. And okay, so why did I decide to focus in on fashion? I would say, and I was reading a blog post from someone from the OP community who is an FESEEJ, and he was talking about how he wants to be good, but not like the best. I am keeping up with what is going on, but I'm not necessarily like number one. And he described it like not first place, but third place is fine. And I totally understand that, because like first place means, well, there's a lot that goes into being first place. There's a lot of time and energy that goes into first place, a lot of honing things in that goes into first place. But third place, you do enough to be good at something, but not necessarily to be renowned by it or for it. And so that's exactly how I would describe myself too when it comes to a lot of things in life. I want to be good. I want to be, sure, yeah, I want other people to say, oh yeah, she's a good fill in the blank, but I don't necessarily want them to say she's the best. Because, then there's a lot of questions that come with being the best as well, like, and responsibility. Okay, maybe that's it. Maybe I just don't want all the responsibility of being number one best at everything. But in any case, when it comes to okay, I don't know why I went in that direction, but in any case, I guess it was to say, when I am going for something, so like if something is now in my sights and I'm trying to attain it, understand it, work at it, I want to understand it enough to be good enough, I guess is the right word. Well, good enough just doesn't sound good enough. Okay, here's a good way. To be proficient, but not advanced. Okay, maybe you don't understand that necessarily unless you're in education. So instead of getting an A+, I am okay with getting the B+. I still had to have that plus there. What I'm referring to is when I became, let's see, because it wasn't my entire life, because it's almost like I'll focus on one thing and then I'll understand it enough to be B+ level, and then I will go to something else and I just keep switching things off. So I would say fairly recently, I started trying to hone in a style. And now I want to call it a style because I was taking cues from others to kind of see what should my style be. I'm looking at what is popular. Of course, you go to Pinterest, you look to see what are the things that people are putting together as outfits and what are really popular. But then I'm also like deciding based on when I go out and I put something together and people are saying, oh, that looks great, that looks great. Oh, you look so cute. To me, that's feedback that's saying, okay, that's a good choice. This is a good color combination. This is a good mixture of patterns. This is a good mixture of textures, or etc. Well, whatever the case may be. And it wasn't necessarily like I'm telling myself these items I'm going to wear again. It was more of the concept behind it of, okay, this is what worked concept-wise. Now, fast forward 10 years later or so, and I have now curated some ideas as to what makes a good outfit. And when I say a good outfit, that means an outfit that I know will get remarks, that people will say, you look good, Jenny. It really dawned on me, I want to say like a few weeks ago, when 2 days in a row I had people commenting on what I was wearing. Most people will think, oh, that's great. That's exactly what you want, right? But that's really when it dawned on me that I wasn't really dressing for me. I was now dressing for the tribe. And I am not only now following somebody and I'm like saying, okay, tell me how I should dress, but now I am looking to the people around me and saying, okay, am I dressing okay? All right, I'm following you and your ideas, and now I want to see, did I do it okay? And so I kind of lost myself a little bit. Again, it's not like a big, huge thing, but it is still me. Like, I want to be proud of that I want to wear this thing. I'm not wearing it for someone else. And the funny thing is, Chris had been telling me for a while, because I would ask him, of course, you know, you ask your partner, you say, oh, do I look okay? And he would tell me, well, you'll get a lot of compliments today. And so it was like kind of already telling me like, I'm not really dressing for myself, but I wasn't really hearing it. I wasn't hearing him say, is this for you or is this for someone else? And so the slope is so slippery when it comes to others and trying to live in this world, really. When you're Savior DE, you're constantly losing yourself because that draw, that shiny metal, it's not first place, but that shiny metal is still dangling out in front of you, and it's saying, come this way. Yes, this is what the tribe is saying yes to. The tribe wants this, the tribe wants that. But then you forget to ask, is that what you want? Do you want that? I forget to ask myself if that's what I want, because I think I trick myself in thinking that I want what they want. And sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. And unfortunately, sometimes that means I have to go off my path and I'm going and following another path, and the path is long and the path may take me into a place that I didn't even want to go. But fortunately, there's still lessons to be learned from taking that path. So no matter what, I can look back and I can say, well, I mean, in this case, I can literally say I've understood certain things about fashion that I can still take with me, whether or not it's something I want to do, or maybe I want to say, buck fashion, buck the rules, and I just want to do whatever I want. So I have started recently. It's gonna obviously take me a while because I don't want to just like throw out all my other clothes and buy all new clothes, because that's not very cost effective and I am not made of money. But maybe one of my new outfits will be made of money. Who knows what I find and what I want to wear. Maybe I can make my own clothes. That would be so cool. I've always wanted to do that. Something to do maybe in the summer. But in any case, I know now that from here on out, I have to be more cognizant about what exactly I am making a decision about. Like, let's say just for, I mean, obviously I need to think about this for a lot of things, but when I think about it in terms of fashion, then it's maybe looking at a piece and deciding, is this really what I want, or am I going for that prize that is third place prize? Which one am I doing this for? And sometimes it's going to overlap and sometimes it's not. And so, yeah, that is my little story about being lost and then found. And I know that we're all lost at some point in life. Being lost is not the end of the world, because being lost means you get to learn more about yourself, and that's always a good thing. And even though the feelings that come along with being lost and kind of realizing you're lost are not always pleasant, they're temporary, and that is thankfully a good thing. But anyway, that's all I got for this week. And I want to know, have there been times in your life where you felt lost? And what was it about? What were you, in what area of your life were you lost? And with that, I hope that you have a great week and you take time to think and feel and learn about yourself a little bit better. Bye. So I never got to tell you what my fashion sense is that I'm going to go towards. And I guess it would be described as quirky. Quirky is, I would say, the best way to describe my personality, and that's exactly how I want to dress. Quirky. And that means I want to mix patterns is one of the big things, and I want to wear a lot of color. Those two big ideas. And I've already learned a lot of concepts when it comes to how do you put patterns together. And so some of the easy ones to follow would be that you can use, this is a small pattern and a big pattern. And I would say what I'm wearing right now is not exactly like the style I'm going towards, but yeah, I'm trying to work with what I got. So that's small pattern, big pattern. And then another way you can do that is by striped combined with circular. So that's what I got. And then two main ideas is that you can think of any color as a neutral. Don't think black is your only neutral. You could pick any color and that's going to be your neutral. And really, if you wear something with confidence, that's really the secret. Wear it with confidence.